Arsenal out of the Europa League to penalties via Sporting tonight. Sporting came over from Portugal. They had a brilliant 90 minutes. They were 1-0 down. They came back with a brilliant goal, maybe the goal of the season globally, from Pedro Gonçalves, practically from the halfway line, lobs the goalkeeper and puts Sporting back into the tie. Into the tie. And then from that point, Arsenal became the better side. Saka came on, Part came on, Odegaard came on. They dominated extra time, but the game went to penalties. And on penalties, the Portuguese kept their nerve for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 penalties on the bounce. And then Gabriel Martinelli with a massive miss from the penalty spot to send the Portuguese through. 29 years and counting now for Arsenal to taste European glory once more. And of course, there'll be a silver lining for many Gooners. The substitution impacts. They can now focus 100% on the Premier League. That will be the silver lining tonight. But I know Arsenal fans see their club as a massive club, as a giant club, as a team that wants to win multiple trophies in a season. And this will certainly be disappointing for Arsenal fans everywhere. Not just to go at, but I think the first 90 minutes, the speed, the press, the counter from Sporting, the way they played on the transition was brilliant, and Arsenal really couldn't do much to stop them. I think that their lack of conviction in possession would be definitely something that Arsenal fans would be very frustrated about. A number of the fringe players really didn't step up this evening. A number of the fringe players really didn't deliver how many Gooners would want them to. The likes of Reece Nelson, as an example, Fábio Vieira, just not really at it when it came to playing, holding onto the ball, keeping the ball moving, and stopping Sporting from doing what they wanted. And that was essentially playing on the transition and catching you out of position. I do have to congratulate Sporting Lisbon, though. I don't want to be disrespectful to them or Sporting, as I'm being told to call them. They were sensational. There is, without a shadow of a doubt, they were absolutely sensational for about 90 minutes. Extra time, not so much, but they sat in and they waited for those penalties. And there was a couple of chances just not quite taken. Some opportunities just quite not taken. And some brilliant saves. I think man of the match today, you may want to give it to Gonçalves for that goal, because that goal was a goal for the ages. And ironically, the second time it's happened to Arsenal in European football, Naeem, all those years ago. But I would give, I think he's pronounced Aden, the goalkeeper for Sporting today. What a performance he put in. And there was 2 Gordon Bank-esque saves right at the end. It just an absolutely sublime performance from him. And the right team went through over the 2 legs. The right team went through 2 legs, spills it out. Arsenal will be disappointed in that. Apologize for the hiccups. Tried to get rid of them all. They keep going, and then I go live, and they come back strangely. So I don't know. I don't know why they're here, but I'm all good. Don't you worry about that. Of course, I want your views, and I want your opinions, and I want your take. But I am going to say this now about Arsenal. They'll, of course, get banter tonight. They'll get stick tonight. They'll get ripped into, and you've got to take that on the chin, because all teams go through this over the course of a season. But is this going to damage Arsenal's morale? Is this going to make Arsenal fall apart in the league? Some will think yes. I personally think no. They were stopped tonight. They were beaten tonight. But this Arsenal team is far from over. This Arsenal team isn't even at its peak. They'll learn from this. This will hurt this evening, but it's back on that training ground tomorrow, a bit of recovery, and start preparation for Crystal Palace on Sunday, which is an even bigger game. Just before the international break, win that and go 8 points clear of Manchester City. That is all that will be on the minds of those Arsenal players come tomorrow morning. But of course, we have to dissect today's performance. We have to dissect what happened, what went wrong, what went right, what could have been done different. We want to know. I want to know. But first of all, hit the like button. Panel coming out soon to speak to you all. Looking forward to hearing from everybody. Arsenal's morality crushed. Let's go City is what Ugly Hoodrat says. Do you think it's crushed? Do you think they're not going to bounce back from this? If you agree with this comment, let us know. Terry, this was an overdue humbling for a very arrogant Arsenal fan base. hold the L, Arsenal fans, is what Abel Z has got to say here. Everyone think the Arsenal fans have become arrogant. I want to know what you all think. Sporting Adan, what a keeper. Yeah, he was sensational. He was absolutely sensational. Oh my God, Terry, how this happened to almighty Arsenal? I'm so disappointed. My brother can simp for Arsenal anymore for Europe. How he will pay for his BMW. My two BMWs are paid off in full cash, bruv. I don't need to worry about the payments on them, and I pay my insurance yearly as well. Igal theory: Arsenal will crumble in the EPL now, based on Igal's theory. Listen, I didn't say Arsenal would never lose. I predicted them to come third in the Premier League. They've surpassed my expectations this year. So thank you very much, Nabil. And by the way, as a United fan, I'm happy. I'm very happy that we are not going to have to play Arsenal in the remainder of this competition. Very happy. Arsenal may be good domestically, but in Europe they have been they have the same pedigree as City and PSG. They have to win in Europe to be on Liverpool and United's level. I think I think Arsenal fans know that, and I think that's why tonight is so important. European pedigree is only created by winning the trophies that you're competing in. Simple and straightforward as that. Doing it in Europe isn't for everyone. London is blue. Chelsea are European giants with the likes of United, Bayern, and Real Madrid. 7 European trophies for us. Sean here says, Terry, when it comes to the crunch, they will bottle it. End of. Do people really think this is an indication of Arsenal bottling it? Legitimately, I know a lot of you are super chatting it in, so I want to get the viewers' opinion on this. Is this the start of Arsenal's downfall? Let us know. Kenny Edgar here, becoming an official member. Thank you very much, Kenny. That means a great deal to us. Let's take a sip of my water here. Thank you. Arsenal were arrogant and deserved to lose. Simple as that. Start Jesus, Vieira, and Holding our championship levels, is what Nit has got to say here. That goal was absolutely freakish. Can't be mad. Yeah, the goal, the goal was ungodly, unworldly. I've seen only a handful of goals like that at the highest level of football. Naeem, Beckham, I remember Alonso doing it. They're rare. They're very, very rare indeed, especially in knockout football as well. These men crying out for Champions League, yet they can't even get out of the round of 16. Absolute jokers in Europe. These men told me Sporting was an easy 5-0. Deluded. I haven't seen the Arsenal fans say that. Please send me them DMs. I love to cook arrogant fans, so please send them to me. No banter. Arsenal can't talk down the Europa League when they have no European titles. This would have been a good win going into the Champions League, is what Juan has got to say here. Look, I know Arsenal fans will be disappointed with that tonight. 110% they will be. There's no doubt about that, Juan. You're right. Kardashian curse strikes again. We were poor. Yeah, I did see all the media outlets taking pictures. I'm like, it's a football match. Why does anyone care about Kim Kardashian at a football match? It's crazy to me. But I suppose that's a modern day world. It's what everyone's into. London remained blue. No European heritage. Bad luck, Arsenal, is what Kingsley says. Congratulations, Sporting. We need to pick ourselves up and go again on Sunday against Palace. Gutted, but we move on. Any goal that good deserves to win, is what Michael Crane says. Listen, goals like that always deserve to be on the winning side, but you don't always get it. How can I come on and talk about today's? We'll share the link a little bit later in the show, my friend. If Gooners don't win the Premier League, then it's an L of a season. Like, I think, listen, we're going to save that super chat for when the panel come out, because I want to pose that to the Arsenal fans as you the viewers are posing that as a point. So thank you very much indeed. Nathaniel here says, winning European trophies isn't for everyone. Hold that. London is blue and Chelsea will be back soon, is what Nathaniel has got to say here. Friend Zone FC does it again. Another year, another choke job by Arsenal in Europe. And now if they choke the league and Chelsea win the Champions League, shamelessness is coming, is what C's got to say. He was very good. He's a guy that got sent off, right? I mean, even his second yellow was probably worth it from a stopping that counter-attack point of view. But yeah, look, the Sporting for 90 minutes was sensational. Just lacking a little bit of end product, especially Edwards. And ironic. I mean, they went through in the end, but they didn't want him taking a penalty either because they knew that Spurs gene would come through. A Kardashian curse is real. Time to get the Kim season tickets to the Emirates, is what King Cantona says. It will be very funny if at the end of the season Arsenal didn't win any trophies, is what Marshall's got to say here. Marshall, I do think some Gooners are worried about that, and we're certainly going to talk to them. If you think this team will win the league, you don't know you don't know nothing. They won't win anything. Arsenal doesn't have the depth or balls to win anything. Gal, where are you? Is Gal on tonight, KJ? Okay, yeah, yeah, okay. He's at the Emirates. He was at the game. Okay, yeah, he was at the game tonight. I don't laugh at Arsenal fans normally, but I'm laughing at Egal. Disappointed with the result. Sporting were brilliant. Their goalkeeper was the difference today. No excuses to go and win the league now. Yeah, I mean, there are no excuses now. One game a week, essentially, barring double-headed weeks now for Arsenal for the rest of the season. Full steam ahead. The title is what I think a lot of Gooners will be thinking. Carl, thank you for the super chat. You haven't said anything, but thank you, brother. Terry, if they fail to win the league, this will be the banter team forever. Facts. Look, if Arsenal don't win the league, they're going to get bantered. That's a fact. But if the only way they become the banter team forever is if they regress from this point and drop down to 5th or 6th next year, go out the Champions League early and don't achieve anything. If they go back to challenge, if you're challenging for titles, the Premier League, Champions Leagues, you're not banter. You get bantered when things go wrong, but you're not a banter club, in my view, Sean. But does that make sense? Hopefully, Ten Hag is satisfied with that injury list now. Performance was crap. Sporting deserved to go through. Rivals keep the same energy. I'll be waiting. Yeah, listen, look, it wasn't. He didn't want you guys to get more injuries. He stated, "I want to be more like Arsenal and have most of my team available more regularly," which you have compared to United. And I don't think it was him wanting your players to be injured. I don't think Ten Hag is that kind of guy, personally. You said Arsenal would be favourites for the Champions League. I said earlier on my stream, if Arsenal were in the Champions League this year, playing how they've played all season, they would be looked at as one of the favourites for the Champions. Not the favourites, be one of the favourites. They've been better than City this year, and City are the favourites. So why would Arsenal not be amongst the favourites? I didn't say the outright favourites or the clear winners. I said one of. 11 finals to go. No excuses is what AA says here. I agree, AA. Zero excuses for Arsenal from this point with no distractions. Again, barring mass injuries or something crazy, but yeah, none. I agree with you as a Gooner. Feel for Martinelli, but we must move. I'm actually happy because now we can fully focus on the league. Get out of my club, Kim Kardashian. We move. Kim's getting heat. She's been on heat a lot. That's why she's got a career. To be fair, and you know, there's an irony in it. Really, there's an irony with Kim Kardashian being there and Sporting Lisbon coming back to win, because what made Kim Kardashian famous was come on her back. But there we go. As an Arsenal fan, I just simply feel Arteta laid his chips down. He wants to beat Pep. I don't think fans understand how much it means to both. But those players today were not good enough at all, is what Neto believes here. Some Arsenal fans were so glad to get us. That's what a Sporting Lisbon fan has got to say here. I'm not going to lie. Like, I get why. But equally, Arsenal were nowhere near their levels today. But you deserve huge credit. You were sensational. Apparently, Barca cheated them in 2006. Hold that. Man's held on to banter for 17 years. 17 years. Wow. I'm devastated, to be honest, Terry. All us Arsenal fans need to keep our heads up, and so do the players. Come on, you Gunners. Listen, thank you for being honest that you're gutted. I think a lot of people are going to play down how they feel, and I'm glad to hear people being honest. Ten Hag cursed us. We had to alter our subs. That will be a theory bar tomorrow. Ty will be saying that on his fan cam. All jokes aside, Arsenal have been great this season, but they were outplayed in both legs. Hope your hiccups finally go away, Terry. Big up TFT. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. They did go earlier. They came back literally the second to last penalty. I couldn't believe it. What a hiccup, Terry. But great joke. Both North London teams struggle against Sporting. That's very true. They did this year. They did. Dyke here says, arrogant fan base got humbled. London is blue, baby. Is what Dyke's got to say. We don't have a big enough squad for 2 competitions, is what Alexander's got to say. I'm going to save that one. I want to pose that to the panel as well. We're going to save that. Terry got the hiccups 2 days in a row. Lay off the cherry coke. Arsenal now play 1 game a week until the end of the season. Do rivals that are bantering know what that means? Just hungry to troll Arsenal, is what May's got to say here. Poor, I don't know why our concentration wasn't there, is what Ibi has got to say. We were linked to the Sporting Lisbon coach to replace Potter. He looks really good. I'm not going to lie. He looks very, very good indeed. There's no doubt. How about Ruman? Yes, he does. He looks brilliant. His team play excellent football. And a lot of the Liverpool fans, especially little Tom Little, he wants him at Liverpool when Klopp gets sacked. Big up to Terry, mate. Love your streams and content. But if Arsenal don't win the league, it would be a madness. Listen, I understand. I understand the banter. I understand where it's all coming from. They'll get a lot of stick, no doubt. Look how everyone jumps on Arsenal now. We were poor, but this doesn't mean we won't win the league. I agree with you, James. This does not compute to not winning the league unless you're someone that believes you're going to bottle it and they thought you bottled tonight. They would. This is confirmation of their theory in many ways. Don't worry, I'll be back for those crumbs and arrogant fans. But I hate disrespect that Ruben is getting. That guy is a quality coach. Yeah, Joshua Jack, 110%. It's class. Nabil here says, I'm talking about my loving brother. If Arsenal go trophyless, I'm sorry. That would be a big fail. Next season, Arsenal are going down. Bookmark this. I'm sure some people will, Nabil. Martinelli was put off by Kim Kardashian's bum. I think she's had it reduced. I think big bums are now out of fashion with those types of people. And I say those types of people, I mean weirdos who like share their personal lives online. Arsenal are mouth. Think they are big dogs. Never do it when it matters most. All these fake humblings, they're all mouth, no show when the real pressure is on, is what Nav thinks. A lot of that same message tonight. I cut my says, Erik Ten Hag is so clear of Arteta, it ain't even funny. How can you bottle it so hard in the Europa League? We'll save that one as well for the panel. Agenda before was Arsenal will probably want to go out, but now it's Arsenal choke job. Arsenal no excuses to win the league. We move. No other team is challenging City, but we are bottlers. Laughing my ass off. See, my view is this, my friend, and it's always been this on this I wanted you in the next round if you went through, because I believe there was more opportunity to beat you over 2 legs when you're in the running for the title than potentially getting you in the final when you'd play your full strength team. So, yeah, I get where you're coming from 110%. This here says, Chelsea fans talking about Arsenal not having European heritage when they were irrelevant before the Roman mob boss came in, is what Broomsticks Goon has got to say. What doesn't kill you makes you bottle, Arsenal, is what Dimitri says here. Vieira stayed on for too long. Yeah, he had a poor game tonight. I thought he had a really, really poor game indeed. No doubt about that at all. Today was such a weird day. We were off. Definitely off the pace. Definitely off the pace today because Sporting for the opening 90 minutes, so far superior, it was unbelievable. So far superior, it was unbelievable, really. I'm not co-signing this for focusing on the league ball. Winning breeds winning. I'm deflated. So deflated. Tevin, I appreciate you saying that because I think you're being very, very honest there, my friend. I really, really do. Let's have a little look here. We are getting cooked like a well-done steak. It happens when you lose, mate. It happens. Being honest, Werner missing the header. Are you winning it? Who? Is that one of their... Who are we talking about? Is that a player? I don't even know who that is meant to be. Who's that meant to be? I don't know who that's meant to be, Sean. I'm confused. Sorry. One trophy matters for Arsenal this year, and it's not the Europa. Thank God this is over. On to the league is what Carl said. It doesn't matter, is what Carl says there. Gutted Arsenal fan here. A European loss is nothing to feel happy about, but when you score a goal like that, you deserve to go through, is what Ricky says. Ricky Proctor. I think that's very, very fair from you. Very fair indeed. Allegri versus Ten Hag final. Big up Terry. Listen, give me the easiest team in that final, bro. I just want the trophy. I don't want them. Can I please get on the stream? We'll share the link very, very soon, my bro. We'll share the link soon. Gonçalves will be linked to Man United in the morning. Yeah, I bet he is. Weren't he a City player before, or a Wolves player? Wolves. I saw him linked to City. It was Wolves he was at. Why are you following that ginger melt, John Morley, Liverpool fan? Nothing but a ginger melt. Well, I thought I unfollowed him, to be fair, but I'll go and check it, my friend. I don't check that every day, but thank you for letting me know. Martin Kroenke is making excuses about fatigue, talking rubbish. United play 3 games a week for about 4 months with less rotation. Excuses. I agree with that. United have played 24 games while Arsenal have played 14 since the World Cup. So fatigue shouldn't be an excuse, in my opinion. Arsenal giving Rogers Liverpool vibes. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true personally. Today proves how much rivals want Arsenal to fail. Of course they want you to fail. They definitely want you to fail. Chelsea won the European trophy before Roman. Crying more is what God's will says. Saliba injury is a massive loss to Arsenal. I don't know how serious it is. He was sitting on the bench laughing and joking. But if him and Tommy are out for a while, maybe. People forget this Arsenal side is one of the youngest in Europe. They're going to learn from this experience and will come back stronger, is what Robert believes. Come on, you gooners, he said. Want to see the same Arsenal fans if they don't win the league, is what Dyke says here. Arsenal, like you, got hiccups today, but hope you're good. I'm well, my friend. It's literally just hiccups. So I don't know why they're not going away either, but there we go. I'm gutted going out, and the banter is fair. Sporting played for their lives on the pitch and deserved it. A damn man of the match for sure. Arsenal's night and day compared to the league. That goal was insane, though. Couldn't agree more. I heard Arsenal will win the treble, is what Patrick has come in and super chatted us here. I didn't hear that myself, but he's coming in for that banter. All I have ever wanted was a trophy from Europe. This one hurts. I pray that we can get the trophy now, is what Raul has had to say. Another very, very honest gooner here. Arsenal could go 8 points clear on Sunday, and I will never have seen Vieira play again. I see this as a win. Bad Bath, happy to go out as a gooner here. So very different sort of views and opinions coming in from gooners. And what do you think? What do I think about HSBC buying Silicon Valley Bank? Silicon Valley Bank were my old clients in my last banking job. I'm not surprised because there's good business in there, but it's only like 2,000-3,000 clients they had in the UK. They only bought the UK arm of that bank. They only acquired that. I'm not even sure if they've acquired the debt. I need to look into it. But yeah, fairly good bit of business from them. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Are you doing a panel show or is it a link? We are going to share a link a little bit later, but we're about to bring the panel out now, my friend. Thank you very much indeed. Viewers, make sure you've hit the like button and make sure you've shared this stream across your social media platforms. Keep the super chats coming. We'll go back to them with the panel soon. But I'm going to bring them out now because I do need a break from talking. I'm going to bring them out now to have their say. Bear with me a second. Let's do it. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Commiserations for going out, Arsenal. Jess, I want to go to Jess first of all. Talk to me.
Yeah, that was not good. We played terrible. So I'm not about to sit here and make any sort of excuses. They played like it was their cup final, and we played like it was like almost like something that we didn't want to do, And I think that like this team has a while to go. Like I said this the other day on the show that like I don't think Arsenal fans have like a real realistic kind of view on what the Champions League is going to be like, we're not going to go in there and win it. We can't. We're having a difficult time in the Europa League. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's deflating a little bit from my perspective, because I've always said that I want multiple competitions to fight for, to keep some of the pressure off of the Premier League, but now all the pressure goes on to that. And obviously, if we don't win that now, people are going to be like, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I will take my banter. It's fine, whatever. But we can have a I'm looking at Neeks and I'm just like, I've had like 3 of these and Neeks is laughing at the top and I can like barely talk because I'm trying not to laugh at his face. But yeah.
Is my face funny to you?
Yeah, no, because you're like dying because you can't wait. You're like this. But yeah, I'm devastated, but at the same time, like, what can you do? We were shit. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. We're shit.
What went wrong tonight? Because some people are blaming the quality of certain players, the Nelsons and the Fábio Vieiras.
No, we played
in general.
No, we played like it was, a chore. They played like this was the last game they were ever going to play on Earth, and we played like it was a chore, and there was the team that played in the first half was good enough to do better than what they did. And there was just too many players that were just too lackadaisical. And I'm not sure what it is, but it just feels like we have what it takes to like get through these competitions. And that's why we're out of all 3 cups. That's why we went out of them. So you can't just play the first 11 every single game. You just can't, and there has to be a squad that's willing to step up. And I don't think it's a talent issue. Some of it's a talent issue, but some of it is just an application issue. If you can't get up for a round of 16 game against Sporting, then you're not good enough. And I just feel like I saw way too many 4s and 5s out there, not enough good performances. And it wasn't until extra time where the starters were out there, we actually started to look like ourselves. So, it's one of those, like, and European pedigree is a thing. Like, I do think people like don't really take it into consideration, but this team is going to take a while to build that shit up because we have none. So yeah, but yeah, there you go.
I get that. George, there's a super chat here for you actually that says, hold that bottom left. The damn smirk, these Arsenal fans, every team is now waiting for this to happen to the Prem. If it happens, move away from the UK. How disappointed were you, George, in the performance from your boys tonight?
I've still got no idea of how we went out. I still can't believe. I was looking forward to the draw tomorrow. I was getting prepared for the draw. I thought, we've got Sporting at home. There's no way we're going to lose against them. I think we're cursed. I don't know who I blame. I blame Erik ten Hag. Why is he talking about Arsenal? Who gave him the authority to talk about Arsenal, not players not getting injured?
My manager.
Not getting injured, and 20 minutes. We lose our best centre-back, and we lose Tommy Yasu in 20 minutes. Make it make sense. We've had no injuries, and then in 20 minutes we lose, and then literally we had that lineup sorted for the whole game. And 20 minutes, and then Arteta thinking, okay, I can only make 3 different type of substitutions, and then 2 of them are already gone. And then he has to put Ben White on a Rob Holding needs to leave Arsenal tonight. His positioning was when Edward had that chance. Why was he in central midfield, Rob Holding? What was he doing in central midfield? Partey was scrambling back to cover him for centre-back, and then Adam Ramsey had to make a world-class save. Rob Holding should be nowhere near the team. We need to sign a right-sided centre-back, because if Saliba's out for a long period of time, I'm hoping to God he's coming back on Sunday, because Wilfred Zaha going in that channel. Rob Holding is going to get absolutely spun on Sunday. Oh my, we might need to play the Quario guy right-sided centre-back. I don't care if he's left-footed, because I don't want Rob Holding, or even play Ben White right centre-back, and just put Reece Nelson right back or someone, because I don't want Rob Holding anywhere near this team. This guy he's no wonder, because I remember Amazon Prime, like all these players are devastated not playing, and he's always smiling. And then they said into, why are you always happy, Rob Holding, in the Amazon documentary? Because I'm happy to be here. He doesn't
What
care
did
about
Rob
playing
Holding
games.
do today? What are you talking about?
Oh, he was terrible today.
He
was
actually wasn't.
absolutely
He
terrible.
actually, no, I'm sorry. Like, I feel like that's the default. The issue was the midfield in the first half. I said it in the first leg. You can't play Jorginho, Xhaka, Vieira. Doesn't work. And that's why we were getting smoked. Going to the Rob Holding thing just feels like a very like, oh, Rob Holding. He's the shittiest
do you know
player
what it is? When you've
no,
got
Rob Holding. What did Rob Holding do wrong today?
Okay, when you've got a centre
Was
back that you
he
can't trust.
standing up to? Was he in the goal? Did that
No,
ball dip over his head?
Yeah, he wasn't. But in general, when you've got, I'm talking about the long term, Rob Holding. If we've got Rob Holding for Crystal Palace,
yeah,
we've
but
lost that
we're
game.
talking long term, like the game, the game right now. Rob Holding is not coming for the ride. He's the first guy getting off the bus stop he's the first one. The issue is not him.
Where's the bus going, Jess?
Granit Xhaka and Vieira.
And then let me just
that
talk
did
about.
not work.
Okay,
Was the issue
all I want to say is as well, Gabriel's more at fault for that goal because he helped it on the way. You know what I'm saying? My man, give it a little bit of a lift.
Don't disrespect Gabriel. Gabriel's been the best centre back since 2023.
Because you like Gabriel, he can't disrespect it.
He's been carrying us.
He's playing Rob Holding.
In terms of that goal, then the goal was a beaut.
I mean, it was a wonder goal, but
it was a wonder goal. But if you're going to blame any one individual player for it, it's Xhaka that gave the ball away needlessly. Like Xhaka,
it was Jorginho.
No,
it was
Xhaka. It was Xhaka that made the pass that put Jorginho under pressure.
Jorginho did the brilliant flick over the head. It wasn't. It was Xhaka. But like, even then, that goal doesn't warrant blaming anybody. It's more the performance rather than than that goal. Brandon, from your point of view, you look very disappointed to be out, mate.
What can I say, Terry? We bottled it again. We bottled it. That is the realistic explanation to what happened tonight. When you go to Lisbon and you come away with a 2-2 draw and you take it back to the Emirates, you have to say we bottled it. We're at the home ground. I think Mikel Arteta, very unlucky in certain aspects because I think he picked more than a strong enough lineup to win that game tonight. Tomiyasu in the first leg came on, made the difference, stopped them from playing, so I could understand why he was playing. And again, you have to say, very unlucky to have to use two of your substitutions due to injuries. But again, there's players there that did not turn up tonight. Fábio Vieira being the main one. And I've said this about this guy, and at the end of the day, yes, he needs time. But when you're playing against Sporting, let's not get it twisted as well, right? There is so much more improvement that needs to be happening to this Arsenal team, regardless of whether we win the league or not this season. Because we've just gone out of the Europa League to a team that got knocked out of the Champions League. So any Arsenal fan that sits there thinking, we're back in the Champions League next year, we're going to start, going to the later stages of that, no chance. You can't even beat a team that's dropped out of the Champions League at home. So for me, I don't want to hear excuses about we haven't got the squad depth, we didn't have the right players on the pitch or anything like that. At the end of the day, Gabriel Jesus started today. Martinelli started today. Xhaka, Jorginho, and our two best centre-backs, and Zinchenko, started the game today. That's more than enough to beat Sporting Lisbon, in my opinion, over two legs. And we bottled it. We didn't do it. And we just have this tendency in Europe to bottle it. We see it. We got to the final against Chelsea. We got absolutely battered in it. We've had numerous times now in the Europa League where we've come up against teams where we should be beating them over two legs and comfortably as well. And we've ended up going out. Olympiacos, Villarreal, Sporting Lisbon. We're just not very good in Europe, Terry, over two legs. And it's a weird one because, yes, it's a good thing in a way because we can put all our eggs into that Premier League basket, one game a week. But then at the same time, we've just played 90 minutes plus extra time, plus penalties, and we've got to play Crystal Palace on Sunday. So how much is that going to affect our preparations for Crystal Palace on Sunday? And how much of a drain is that going to have on the players' energy as well, having to play that much in one game? So I don't know. It's a tough one, Tel, because we cannot afford to drop points against Crystal Palace if we're going to win the league. So hopefully these players, you know, can find that extra bit of energy and that extra level to make sure we win that game on Sunday, and it doesn't all end up being for nothing.
There's a super chat. Just actually, we are going to do all the super chats, people. They're all starved. There's like 36 of them. We will get to your super chats. Don't worry. This one here says, by losing, we've added more pressure. It's done. Do you feel, Sulz, there's now more pressure on you to win the league?
No, I think the pressure was always on, and especially, you know, the turn of the World Cup. Even before the World Cup, they were like, they're going to bottle it, they're going to start crumbling. Come the World Cup, they're going to crumble it. All the tests that we've had, you know, Liverpool, we're going to lose to them. When it came to United at the Emirates, we're going to lose to them. There's a lot of tests. Look, I do think there's going to be a huge overreaction from a lot of people. I'm not just talking about rivals. Yes, they can do what they want. They're rivals. They're meant to do that. But from the Arsenal fan base, I do think there's going to be a huge overreaction to say, this is it. This is where the league goes. This is where the Europa League goes. This is where everything goes. And for me, we just didn't want it. That's how it looked to me. It was just like, oh, yeah, it's a Europa League and what? It's a second-rate European competition. That's how they played. They didn't want to win the ball. They weren't pressing. They weren't passing. They weren't communicating with each other. Even the strengths that, you know, certain players have weren't showing today. Like, Jorginho's meant to be a tempo controller. He's meant to be breaking the lines. I don't think I've seen him do that once. You know, this is why I hate Arsenal fans. You know, one thing they do, they get so fucking gassed, yeah, over one or two performances. Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, give them long-term contracts. No, they both need to go. They're good enough for like they're like purple patch players. They're good for a certain amount of games. Holding's another one. Holding, do you know what will happen, right? Holding, if he starts, I'm telling you, he'll put a worldie of a performance against Crystal Palace. And guess what will happen? This is why we shouldn't sell him. And the reality is, look, I do think there's quality in this team to win the Europa League. And I also do think now they have to show us why we've backed them. They have to win this league. They have no excuses. I don't give a shit about pressure. This is Arsenal Football Club. We built our legacy on winning the Premier League. We built our legacy on being the Invincibles. Now it's over to you to show us why you should be there. And this team is Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and Partey or bust. Without them three, we're fucking screwed. And that's what we've seen today. Until Odegaard didn't come on, we didn't know what controlling the ball was. And that's what I think it is. I do think there's going to be a huge overreaction. And it's going to be, you know what it is? It's back to business. We're going to beat Crystal Palace and we're going to forget this ever happened. And that's what I truly believe. And you know what? I'm going to say it with chest. Manchester City, bring it.
When you look over the two legs as well, just real quick, we actually had the better chances in front of goal. We just was not clinical when it come to, you know, them chances over the two legs as well. And then today, first half, no control, no ball retention. It was just awful. Awful. We didn't start playing until extra time.
Until extra time. But this is what I'm saying. Like, in the first leg, that midfield did not work. Like, it just didn't. Against Sporting, like, it just didn't. Like, I think Jorginho is fine, but he needs something next to him. And as soon as Tomiyasu came in, he was fine. You know, he's fine. And then
it's until Odegaard didn't come on. I don't think we had
no. I'm saying in the first leg. In the first leg. Then now we played the same line, like the same midfield, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, they're gonna get ran over. It's like the very first minutes, like it felt like they were panicking. And I just don't think Arteta really, I know he likes Jorginho and Xhaka and Vieira, but he needed to start Partey or put Tomiyasu on the left. Like, there's just no way to have all those guys that want to have the ball at their feet but don't want to win the ball and don't control any space and don't control the grass all out there at one time. So I think he did make a mistake with that. But I do agree with Sulz a little bit in terms of, like, they're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like, we're out of the Europa League. It is what it is. But just have to beat Crystal Palace and move on and move forward. You know, there's, you know, reports that Saliba came out with no strapping. He's probably fine. He'll probably play against Crystal Palace. Like, we just have to move on from here and try to win the Premier League. But I've already seen people saying, if Arteta doesn't win a trophy, should he get sacked? No, he should not get sacked. Relax. You guys want him to get sacked because you know he's good and you know we're moving in the right direction. So no, he's not going to get sacked. we're fine. Focus on the Premier League. But yeah, they have to figure out why it is that we can't perform in cups. It's not just the Europa League, it's in cups. When we rotate, those players don't step up. And if we have to play our best 11 in every single competition, we're effed. You know,
But you know what I do want to add though? Arteta said this, and he kind of specified it to when he was asked about Emil Smith Rowe. He was like, if these players want to get back into this 11, they have to show me the fight. Now, what Arteta's always done, he's backed his words. Now, I want to see that in the summer. I want to see those players. I want him to look back in these competitions and look at these fringe players who basically didn't perform and go, do you know what? Either sit them down, have a word with them, or you're out the door.
Arteta's got to be careful. And I say that because he's setting a precedent right now that reminds me of Poch, where, these cups don't matter. FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Europa League, they don't matter. We only want Champions League. We only want Premier League. And Poch took them to those places, but couldn't get them over the line. Now, I'm not saying he will repeat the same thing. I'm not saying he won't win the league and all of that. But if you guys don't win the league, it's kind of like, why did you sacrifice all these things for when you could have had easily this season? You easily could have had an FA Cup.
But do you think that's Arteta, or do you think that's on the players?
No, I'm not saying it's on. I'm not saying it's Arteta's. I'm just saying, like,
I mean, you said that Arteta's setting the precedent, right? So clearly, you're blaming it on Arteta, right?
No, I'm not blaming the game on Arteta. I'm just saying he's got to be careful to guard it, because your point is we shouldn't have to play the strongest teams every game in the cups to win the cup, but to get over the line to win a cup right now, you have to do that, because now you're complaining about squad depth. So
we're probably not. We're probably not at a point right now. Like, I get what you're saying. We had an opportunity to win Europa League and we have an opportunity to win the Premier League, but we're still ahead of where we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So
I know.
In the summer, and what's so important, let me just say this really quick, is Arsenal have got to be in the Champions League. We have to, in order to recruit the type of players that are going to allow us to compete on multiple fronts. So that's the main focus of the season, regardless if we need the players or not.
My point is, sorry, Nick, before my main point is, we've seen Erik ten Hag be questioned. Why is he playing his strongest 11 in the cups? Why does he keep doing it? Why isn't he rated? And he's won a trophy, and he looks like he could go on to win one or two more. If we do, that's a different question.
Yeah, but KJ, we did, mate. We played 7 of our first team players today.
But you didn't play your most important ones.
We're not
playing Casemiro.
So let me answer KJ's thing, because this is what I'm saying is Arsenal have to have Champions League in order to recruit the type of players that we need. We need to get back into the top 4. Manchester United, I think you guys are in a completely different space than we are. Outside of Champions League, you guys were able to get Casemiro, Varane, players like that. We have got to climb back up that hill. So you guys can kind of, get top 4, not have to win the Premier League, go a little bit stronger in the cups, because what you guys needed to do this season was to win trophies. You had to, because you guys had a 6-year trophy drought. So regardless,
doesn't this take it back to KJ's initial point when he mentioned Poch, because that was Tottenham's mantra. Forget everything.
Yeah, but this is but you guys are not letting me finish. It's you guys are trying to pinpoint on just this time. Arsenal have different things that we need to accomplish every single season. So just because this season our main focus is getting into the Champions League doesn't mean next season our main focus is to just get into the Champions League. That's not what it is. We failed at it last season. Now we have to get it this season. We don't quite have all the pieces to make sure that we can get everything else. But once we get into the Champions League, Arsenal are not going to sit there and say, okay, we need to get into Champions League again. We're going to move forward.
All right.
I get that it's like Poch, but it's really not, because it's one season.
But let me ask you this. The teams that he played, I don't remember the team he put out in the Carabao Cup when you went out, but the FA Cup and this match today, could you, considering where you are in the league now, are you saying that if you had played stronger teams in those games and maybe gone 1 or 2 games deeper, that would have hindered your chance and possibilities of getting Champions League football this year? Because as far as I look at the league, top 4 is not even a question for Arsenal. Like, unless you, because a lot of Arsenal fans and some rival fans say that Arsenal are the best team in England this year. And I'm not going to argue with it. The league table doesn't lie. So if Arsenal are genuinely the best team in England this year, surely you don't have to do what Liverpool did a few seasons ago and give up every competition just to achieve your goals, which you're saying is not actually winning the league, but achieve your goals of qualifying for the Champions League. Like, which one is it? Are you the best team in England this year, or are you not? And you actually need to give up.
Okay, so I can answer that as well. So when we went out of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup earlier on in the season, we were not as clear and as far into the season in terms of winning the Premier League back then. It was still kind of like not sure. It was a while back. We've been out of those competitions for a while. So I kind of understand what you're saying. It's like, well, you know, you're the best team in England. So, and you're kind of clear now, clear of Champions League. So why aren't you guys playing stronger teams in the cups? First of all, we didn't really play that not strong of a team. We played a pretty strong team, but now we're trying to get the Premier League and it's a little bit different. So I get what you're trying to say, but like next season, we're not just going to sit there and say, okay, we just need to get Champions League.
And that's why I said he has to be
careful. But now things have changed. If we had played all of our starting 11, first of all, we played so many strong players and we still got injuries. You know, like I don't know. I feel like I know there's going to be a lot of emphasis on this one game, but
for me, it's not just the one game. It's 3 cups that I'm pretty sure at the start of the season, Arsenal fans were saying we have to win one of them. Now all gone. Now I know it's different now because you're in the Premier League race. So cool. Yep. But surely you still want to win you still want to win one of the
KJ, I'm just saying
of course we do. Nobody's saying that we don't.
Because
exactly. So that's
why
I'm saying.
After all this hype, if they end this season without a trophy, I don't care how many points you get. I don't care if Man City go on a 12-game winning run and it's a juggernaut of a team. I've heard that before from other rivals that wear red. Juggernaut of a team and we could do nothing about it. If they end this season without a trophy, I will be there.
Can I just say, KJ, can I just say, there's a fine line. I understand what you're saying. There's a fine line because at the beginning of the season, a lot of Arsenal fans would have said, we want top 4 and Europa League. We have to win the Europa League and get top 4. Otherwise, it's not a good enough season. Top 4 was never going to be enough. But now we're in the title race and we haven't won a title for 20 years and that automatically qualifies us for the Champions League as well. Yeah. Then it becomes more important, I suppose.
With 11 games to go.
Yeah. I think this is the thing with it. I understand Arsenal fans changing their mindset. The 2 bits I don't agree with, one, belittling trophies, like I've seen some gooners do, little FA Cup, little Carabao Cup, little Europa League. We don't care about that. We're looking at bigger things. I don't like that language around it. I don't like trophies being disrespected. Hindsight is what's going to rule here, because if you don't win the league, then sacrificing your best line for these games will then, again, hindsight's lucrative, but then it will be that was a mistake. But if you win the league, you're not going to care. So that's where it becomes.
Do you know what my issue with the point is, though? I hate the word sacrifice. I don't think we did. Because even if you look at the FA Cup, we still played Bukayo Saka. We still played a strong enough team to take it to City, and we got unfortunate. It was a late-ish goal, 1-0.
Even if Arteta didn't sacrifice, but from your analysis earlier, it sounds like you're saying the player sacrificed. So whether it's Arteta, the players, the club, Arsenal as a
you know when I blame Arteta.
So what are we supposed to do then, Meeks? What are we supposed to do?
Arteta, right?
We've already said that we're disappointed by the players.
Get rid of holding, isn't it? That was the answer.
We are holding it, but obviously we're trying to have a productive conversation. My point is this, right? The way I see it,
I think they expect you to go to the Emirates and do something to the players.
Listen, it's just
that.
I brought it up.
But you know what?
But they're still fighting for the Premier League.
Said KJ and what Terry said about sacrifice. The way I look at it, Arteta's still trying to motivate these players. He's still on the touchline, screaming at them, getting them up for it, and saying to them, "What the hell are you guys doing?" They're just not performing. So, yes, I understand. Yes, it's a slippery slope and he needs to be careful. Hence why I said he's got 2 options. He either brings them into the office and speaks to them and go, what the hell were you, man, doing? Or if he doesn't get the response he wants, they're out. because he said it in his own press conference prior to this game. If you're not going to show me the level of competitiveness I need, the fight to get into this team, then you're not going to get in it.
I
That's
get
how I
that.
see it.
I want to go to some of these super chats. There's a hell of a lot of them to get through. First one from, Gunner Down Under. Says, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't make sense to me if we're going to have to rely on our best players off the bench to rescue games. That's reactive thinking. We either want to win the games or not. And if we wanted to win, our best 11 should play.
It's much easier to go get the result and then take players off rather than have to bring them on to try and save a game that you've got no guarantee you'll save.
Yeah. I get that completely. I think, listen, one thing that used to bother me under Fergie in the Carabao Cup when I grew up was the weak teams we played in early rounds, and often we went out so regularly. And then every now and then, maybe it's because we weren't the best team in England, he started playing stronger teams on it, and we ended up winning it. And I always look back thinking to myself, I swear we could have won that 3, 4, 5 more times in Fergie's time, 100%. Jerome here says, forget Arsenal and let's talk about the goal from Marcus Rashford. What a goal. Man United can have Kane, but I want Rashford to be part of that deal. You can keep Kane if it means Rashi leaving my football club, brother. You can keep him. This here says, Ramsdale with breadsticks for risk couldn't save a Word document. I really heard Arsenal could compete in the Champions League. I mean, none of you Arsenal fans are blaming Ramsdale for that goal, are you?
No,
I
it's
think
just
it's the pen.
I think it's the
Talking about
penalty. I think it's the
penalties.
penalty he's talking
Oh,
about.
the penalty. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, but can I just stop this really quick? Like, we can't compete in the Champions League, but we just played a team that was knocked out of the Champions League. They're a Champions League quality team. So, I mean, say what you want, but they were not just like a team that you run over. Like, they just weren't. You know, we have to definitely rise. We definitely have to rise. Obviously, we have to get better. I'm not saying that they were so good that we couldn't beat them, but this was a Champions League level team. So we could actually compete.
Qualifying for the next round as well. So they weren't a bad team, like by any stretch. They were that close to qualifying.
They weren't a bad team. We need to be better, but we will be in Champions League.
They'll be up for the Champions League. They're that kind of weird mentality where, the prestige of the Champions League. You'll see a different Arsenal next season.
We know Arsenal have lost when we see Neeks cheesing as soon as the panel arrives. Glory, Man United.
And they're
I
you
can't
guys
help
are
it.
shameless, but I get that you guys have been going through a difficult time lately. So I
Excuse
get
me,
it.
we
Are
are
we eating good, man?
royalty.
We got a trophy.
No,
I like how the European
not.
minnows are down at the bottom. Stay down there. Don't
Listen, we
look
eating
up.
good.
you guys,
We're in
if
the next
you
round.
don't win the Europa League, this
Don't look at me when you speak to me, Jess. Look down. You minnows. European minnows.
okay.
This here says this was on Arteta. He's showing inexperience here, not playing his best 11 in a must-win game. The sharp decrease in quality is worrying. But there's been a few super chats saying that. A lot of Gooners were happy with the squad depth a couple of weeks ago. Is a narrative now that the squad depth isn't good enough? Because you called it out, Sulz, the Reece Nelsons and that of this world. Is there still a lack of depth at Arsenal?
There's a lack of hunger in certain players.
I was going to say, I think it's a mentality problem because Saka played in the first leg. Martinelli played in the first leg. Saka didn't play well in the first leg. Most of our players didn't play well in the first leg. I think most of them are concentrating on the league. The league is more important. Winning a Mickey Mouse trophy in the Europa League isn't really something that's like really achieving something.
Wait. No,
Because,
I was
gonna say one thing.
No,
Liverpool,
you said it was a Mickey
Liverpool
Mouse.
in their prime time for 5 years, they didn't win the Champions League and Premier League in one season. They didn't win the Premier League, FA Cup, and League Cup in one season. And it's like I blame Man City because Man City have done it consistently, winning the League, FA Cup, and Premier League in the same season, and everyone expects us to do it. We physically cannot win every single trophy this season. We can't play our first lineup. If we played our strongest team in the League Cup, FA Cup, and the Europa League, we probably wouldn't be first now.
No,
Definitely
also
What I'd say is that
we're not saying do it in every competition. If you just want to look at this one-off game, you have one game coming up, Crystal Palace, who are really out of form. They haven't won a game in 2023, and then you've got a 2-week-long international break before your next game. So why couldn't you have went, you know what, let's get to the next round of the Europa League. It's another
I know, but we've got
And
our
trust the
team.
backups.
Our team is full of international players. It's not like they're gonna relax for 2 weeks. They're still gonna play international football. They're still. It's not gonna. It's not like.
The issue that I've been kind of saying this for a while, but I just think with Arteta, like in these competitions and in the future, don't rotate 5 or 6. Rotate 1 or 2. You know, I feel like because in every single cup, what we do is we rotate 5 or 6. No continuity, especially if you rotate like the entire 2 of the midfielders, it just doesn't work. So we have some squad depth, but when they play with the starters and you just change 1 or 2, like Trossard comes in for Martinelli, Jorginho comes in for Thomas Partey, Tomiyasu comes in for White, just 1 or 2, we're fine. But when you change 5, 6, 7, they have no idea what they're doing. They have no connections. They're rattled. And then once you have like Saliba go off and Tomiyasu, it's F. So
I know,
we
but
definitely have some squad depth, but you can't change 5 or 6.
No, but it's easy saying that. But these players, Arteta knows if they're fit enough or they've got energy to play the next game. So he's got a reason to not play them, to play 5, 6 players. So I don't blame Arteta at all because he's put a strong lineup
You're gonna
out
have
today.
to play Thomas Partey anyway because we can't get control. Just play Thomas Partey and Xhaka and Vieira instead of, just because the midfield was a throwaway today. I can't believe that we put out that midfield. It just.
I don't trust Thomas Partey playing Thursday, Sunday because if I got a feeling if he started today, Thomas Partey, he would have got injured. Because this guy,
what you do is you play Odegaard.
Then play Odegaard. Then play Odegaard then.
They blame Ten Hag afterwards. Like, bruv, man.
No, but the guy cursed us. I believe in bad mouth another team. It works.
I know you don't want to trust Partey playing Thursday, Sunday, but next season he's going to have to start playing 2 games a week because you won't be able to rotate heavily in the Champions League.
Next season we'll have Declan Rice.
But you say you're going to get through. Thomas Partey is your best midfield player. You need your best player. You might bring Declan Rice in, who's an example who I think could be better than Thomas Partey. But to have a player that you can't play twice a week in a team is a problem. That's a problem. No, availability is the best ability, and you can't have you guys claim the best DM in the world or best in the league. You can't have a player that's the best in his position that can only play 1 game a week.
I know, but it's unfortunate. Wednesday, Saturday is different between Thursday.
No,
Sunday.
it's not, bro.
It's
the same amount of time
between
games, bro.
It's not
the exact same time. Can you do maths?
Playing against the Champions League team is way worse. You have to actually perform. You can't.
But Sporting are a Champions League team. They're not a Europa League team.
No, but I'm talking
so wait. So
because
he played on Thursday
you have to
Wednesday. Because he was played on Thursday and not Wednesday, that's where the difference lies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thomas Partey looked fine to me, and he had to play a significant amount of minutes today. I think Arteta overtrusts some of these players, and maybe it's like a sign, like to move some of these guys on or bring in some more people. I don't know, but like you just cannot. I'm going to stand on it. You can't put out a midfield like that.
I think
you just
what
can't.
You need to do was
it rattled us from the beginning.
He knows he's going to need to trust the depth going forward. And I think that's what it was, but I got it wrong.
Yeah.
I think there's something else. Like, I know how good Zinchenko's been this year. I'm not going against Zinchenko, but I don't think Jorginho Zinchenko necessarily works against certain types of opposition.
I've been saying that it doesn't work, and it didn't work in the first game. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. They both want to do little 5-yard passes and play the same role, and nobody controls the area. That's why you have to have Thomas Partey. He controls the ground. He gets in space. He wins the balls. You just can't. Arteta had a choice. He did have a choice. He could have chosen something different. He could have played Thomas Partey, or he could have played Tomiyasu on the left and took Zinchenko out. Like, he made a little mistake. We went out. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying it. It wasn't like a freak thing. We didn't play good enough. We played like it was a chore. That's how you go out.
I'm going to move on to some more of these super chats here. This one says, Mickey Mouse Trophy. Brother, this is too much to ask Arsenal to win just 1 European trophy. Legendary Villain says, you see why I don't take my feet off the bottom left neck. If you don't win, I'll be crip walking to the Emirates singing Arsenal got Super Mick Arteta is what he's got to say there.
I'll be there with you, bro.
Legendary Villain is normally our villain, but he's not anymore.
Yeah, I haven't seen him around in a while. Jorginho has touched more European cups than Arsenal have won. Georgie is blue. Agent Georgie, my goat. Georgie is going to cost Arsenal the league. Ramsdale on pens. Ha, 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 is what Dykes had to say here. Nav says, I want Chelsea to complete the European set. Europa Conference, small trophy or not, I don't care. I got a winner's mentality. I want it. I want to win and complete the European set. More for you than in it, is what Nav's got to say.
Fair enough.
We bought Aubameyang and Partey in the Europa League. I think that's coming back to what Jess said about you need Champions League to sign the players that you want.
We do.
Ricky here says the drop off between our first 11 and a slightly weakened team is huge. Cannot blame Arteta there. He cannot play the same team for 6 games in 2 weeks before a run-in, is what Ricky Proctor has said. Always United fans trying to sneak in a little Ten Hag over Teta prop. Get over yourselves. Shocking performance. We have to win the league. Lineup was strong enough, is what Mike says.
Can I just say, Tal, if we don't win the league now, then this season is a failure.
Oh my God! Oh my! Our main objective was to get Champions League football, and you say now
listen to me.
Failure.
Listen to me, Dale. At the beginning of the season, most Arsenal fans said top 4 and Europa League. There is absolutely no difference
for 7 years.
There is absolutely no difference between finishing second and finishing 4th. We all said top 4 and Europa League. If we don't win the Premier League, then we haven't won a trophy this season. Then it is a failure.
So what are you going to do? Go
second
Arteta out then?
is a failure.
So we failed. Do we just scrap everyone?
You're going to be out there with your banner?
No, I never said that. But I've never said that. But this season would be a failure. It would.
So then, okay, if it's a failure, you have to have actions. What's the consequences of failure? Who are we sacking?
It's not about actions.
You can't just say it's a failure and not back it with any action.
Wow.
But that's the thing, though.
So
like, I do feel like
expectation
I think you need to say it with chest, though, Brandon. If you're saying that it's a failure if we don't win the Premier League because we haven't won the Europa League, then you need to say it with chest that what is the consequence for that? Because you can't just have people out here failing and not doing anything. Do we need to get rid of what? We need to get rid of Thomas Partey. We need to get rid of
manager,
Arteta. Do we need to sack Edu? Like, what do we need to do?
Something's got to give.
But what I'm saying is by our expectations, this season would have been a failure because that's what people have said at the beginning of the season. Top 4 in the Europa League.
Change, then do we need to get rid of the manager? Like, that's what I'm asking, because you can't say that something is a failure and then just continue on.
Well, no, you wouldn't get rid of the manager, obviously, because he's got us into a position to be in a title race. What you would say is there has to be drastic improvements within the squad in the summer, and it does.
That's going to happen.
That's going to happen anyway.
So basically, man's saying, bro. That's what he's saying. Get rid of that.
For what? For what reason? Why would you like? I don't understand. Like, I kind of get it, but I feel like this is where like the logic all kind of falls apart here. Is because when you say that it's a failure, then you have to say that something broke down and something needs to change. If we already know that we're going to go into this next season trying to buy some players that we didn't have access to before, spend a lot of money, then we're on track. Like, yes, we probably should have done better, but we're on track. Like, I don't know.
It took Jurgen Klopp 4 years to win a trophy. It took him 4 years to win a trophy at Liverpool. And he's already won the FA Cup. Okay. He's going to win the Premier League. And that's spaced within 3 years, 3 full seasons. Okay. So come on. You can't say one thing about Arteta. You can't say anything about failure. This is the youngest team in the Premier League. This is the youngest team in the Premier League. We're getting better every year. It's not like we're gonna get the players are gonna down. You
can say it's a disappointing season.
Sorry.
That's what I think it's more of a disappointing than a failure.
When you say obviously our Arsenal ahead of their like timeline where they should be, yeah. And I saw these quotes the other day about like a 4 or 5 step process, and he's like 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 5 or something like that, and that's all fair enough. But all I'd say is tomorrow's not promised. So the steps that you always expect, all right, we're going to be here after this season and get top 4. And then next season, we're going to challenge for the league. And then, for example, and then the season after, we can, challenge for Premier League and Champions League. And then after that, we can be winning both of those things consistently. Tomorrow's not promised. Tomorrow, Newcastle spend 350 million, and you've got a challenger that at the start of your process you never expected to be. Man United get taken over, and granted, it may have been in your foresight in the first place. But the point I'm making is things change. Liverpool maybe don't get taken over, and they drop out where you expected them to be. So all I'm saying
That's
is, yes,
why Arsenal's throwing everything at the Premier League, though.
Yeah, all I'm saying is
because tomorrow's not promised.
Correct. But
if we didn't do that, then we just go after the Europa League and try to finish top four.
We've got a better mentality. We're going for the big trophies. We're not going for the little medium, little Europa League ones, man. We're going for the big ones.
Which was mentioned earlier,
we're going for the big ones.
You've effectively, whether it's through the managers or the players' mindset, thrown away free competitions, and you're putting all your eggs in the Premier League basket. If you don't go and win the Premier League, it's you can't say it's a success because we're ahead of where we're supposed to be.
Well, nobody. But see, that's the thing, though. Language is important, though, Neeks. Nobody is saying it's a success. What I'm saying is it's not a failure. It would be disappointing. That's what I'm saying. Because even though tomorrow's not promised, you also can't say that Arsenal fall away. They don't improve from here. This is all just up in the air. It could actually just be that Arsenal need better players and they move forward just like they did this past season. So I get what you're saying, but like language is important.
Every season,
you say that it's a failure, it's not a success, it's not a failure. It'd be disappointing. Like it would be disappointing.
It's a narrative every window, though, or every season that we go into that other teams are going to catch us up, other teams are going to improve. We're going to improve as well. You know, it would be such an incompetent thing for Edu, Richard, Kroenkes, Vinay to sit there and go, yeah, everyone else is going to fail. We're the only team that's going to come up on. No, they're going to know there's going to be competitors. They're going to know there's going to be a random one because we've seen it. Leicester, West Ham, you know, these teams have come into this sort of top four competing in that sort of bracket. That Brighton this season, Fulham have come up in the season. I would want them all gone if they sat there and told me only City, only Liverpool. That's all we're looking at. Not United, not a Brighton, not a Chelsea or a Newcastle. That would be such incompetence. That's a bad business. That's a failure of a business if you're not going to prepare for any other things to go wrong.
I get that, guys. Just in the interest of time, because we're an hour and 10 minutes in, I've still got 33 super chats, and I don't want to disrespect the viewers by not going through them. Navia says they pipe up like I don't know what that's meant to say.
Martinelli,
as if he's the best. Oh, Martinelli. They hype up. I think he means they hype up Martinelli as if he's the best striker since sliced bread. I think his sister was playing tonight, not Martinelli, is what Nav says. Sporting Lisbon fan says we need to have a conversation about the Premier League. Too many Arsenal fans at the game were expecting us to get blown away. I wish we were in your league because Benfica are much more dominant.
Big up Ruben Amorim. Big up Ruben Amorim.
This is why Tom's here. This is all Tom's only here for Amorim prop. That's all he's here for.
I've been getting so much abuse for even suggesting Amorim. This is what he does. Mourinho 2.0. Respect.
Right. You're gonna keep Klopp, so I'd relax. That's your manager, okay?
My manager is Ruben Amorim. He just knocked Arsenal out of the Europa League.
I get that. Let me just try and get through a few more of these people, just out of interest of time. Sorry. Now it's Ten Hag's fault. The banter club is back, boys. Where next is it raining? Is the pitch grass too high? Laughing my ass off. Terry, you live with one. Yes, I do. She's very lovely as well. It's not Ten Hag. It's the witch, Kim Kardashian. Soon as she comes to the stadium, things went left. They shouldn't have allowed her in the Emirates again.
Terry, quick question. How many men have come out of Kim Kardashian or Kardashian interactions and come out better on the other side? Not many.
No, men stay away from that. They're a witch of a family. I mean, listen, she had two dads. And they're both not dads anymore. One's gone, and the other one's a mum. Like you got, it's a mad family. I tell you that. Bottom line: Martinelli, Vieira was crap. J20 and Xhaka weren't good. We created nothing and had no control. Blaming Holding was absolutely nonce. Stop it, this guy. I don't think he means nonce. Nonsense is what he means, but he wrote nonce. Stop it, my guy. Holding was okay. This hurts, man, is what Tevin says. I'm grateful to witness the tears from all the smirks this week, except from Jess, because I'm a gentleman. Psych. Hold that, all of you, for the disrespect, is what Blaze says. The sad life of a person must be to thrive on others' failures. Listen, Chelsea, you're not winning the Champions League. Erik Ten Hag curse in full effect. David agrees with Dodds. Remember, they said they were confident of winning 2 trophies this season. Please bottle the league. I'm gonna quick walk to the stadium. From Legend again. Pricey says Europe ain't for everyone. Come down to Old Trafford if you ever want to see one. Icing on the cake would have been Colleen on here being upset. Oh well, we have to wait till they bottle the league for that one. Is what Pricey says. Sorry, Freddie here says people say focus on the league. Stupid, not good enough, gutted. But our fan base is so reactionary. Hate on Vieira, Ramsdale, Holding, Arteta. Our fans need to calm down and stop setting ourselves up to be laughed at like Dodds. It's your fault, Dodds. It's you. But I was guaranteed a 3-0 at the Emirates. Denial isn't the only river that flows through Egypt. Hashtag Arsenal. Neek's agenda must run. This here from... Oh, I've got so many to do and I'm struggling to read. Sorry. Imagine being happy that you've lost. What is that mindset? Imagine having that mindset. This is why Liverpool and Chelsea fans win European trophies. We won't allow the mindset as fans.
Nobody here is happy.
I am.
Oh crap!
Except for Neeks in them, yeah.
But in hindsight, it might actually be a positive because imagine we went out in the semi-finals when we're deep into the Premier League, going out early where we can concentrate on the Premier League. In hindsight, it might actually.
This is what he's talking. This is what that super chat was talking about.
Nice
if
one.
you man don't win, they're coming for you. Innit? That's all I'm saying.
If we do win, I want you guys here.
Oh yeah, we'll be here no matter
Please
what.
don't hide.
You're coming to the parade, fam. You're coming to see us hold that Premier League title.
No matter what.
I cannot.
I don't want to see any.
guarantee
It's the easiest league ever.
We're all
You didn't do this. You didn't do that. Don't talk to me about a Europa League. If we
Serious
win
number.
it, please be here. Okay.
We'll be here no matter what. Don't worry.
What is Zayn doing there? Did he just get knocked out of Europe?
I don't know what he's doing.
Because Liverpool fans are happy that somebody else got knocked out.
Guys, can you all do me a favor? I really am exhausted and feeling really ill. I need to get through these super chats, please. Sorry, I know we will talk more. I just got to read all these out, and it's going to take ages. So I want to respect my viewers. I'm really sorry. To be honest, wore a European trophy and Champions League for Arsenal. Is what Dyke says. Terry, some of these Arsenal fans' logics are so stupid. Liverpool wanted the quad last year, but by that logic, they should have improved this season. That's not guaranteed. This process nonsense. Sit down is what Legendary Villains got to say. This says, I know I'm late. I know. Sorry, I know I'm late. I know when I see an anxiety attack. Here is for you. Love to you, brother. Yeah, I am actually struggling quite a bit, to be fair. That's why I need to get these super chats done. I think Trossard should have played attacking midfield, technical ability, confident vision. We were poor retaining the ball, and we would have been able to do that. Retaining the ball was our biggest issue tonight. I think everyone would agree with you on that, DK, from a footballing point of view, 110%. Pac-Man here says, Sulz talking about fans will overreact, then gets rattles and calls out City. Focus on not bottling it. The joke shot beard ain't fooling anybody, is what Pac-Man says there. It's a strong beard you've got there, my friend. It's a strong one. This is to Jess. It says, Jess, we didn't have the squad to win other trophies whilst rotating in the league, chasing a season like many past answered teams as usual. Arsenal fans, let go of your favourites even if they win the league. I don't know what that last bit means. I mean, let go of players that aren't good enough even if they're your favourites. I get that. Arsenal fan here, we should call a trophy Mickey Mouse after winning it. Saying it now makes us sound further sour and stupid. Horrible today is what Ricky has got to say. This is Terry. Some of these Arsenal fans... Oh, sorry, I've already done that one there. Sorry, I've already read that one out. Neek should take his own advice about tomorrow isn't promised. No ball knowledge, just agendas. Keep your smugness. I want to see you here at the end, is what Mike's got to say to you. This is what happens to Arsenal. What happens if Arsenal go out of form like Liverpool and Chelsea next season? Happens to the best of teams. Make it count whilst you are in form. Arsenal missed out. Yeah, that is a fair point, to be fair. I think that's a fair point. I bet
Unless we don't win the league. Like, if we win the league, none of this. I think this is too early for some of this.
Yeah, he's talking about next season as well. But yeah, cool.
No, I get that. Terry, get this Somali brother. I don't know if he's Somalian, but says Somali brother off the bottom left. He's embarrassing us. Stop the excuses. Arteta got it wrong. He must win the league now, or you won't hear the end of it. That's the Dodds again. I'm glad we're out. UL, was that UL? Europa League is a fake league that is meant to punish title contenders. So Thursday, Sunday schedule cannot win the league.
Does Wednesday, Saturday just not happen?
It has a massive effect. Massive effect.
This is some people need to remember Arsenal are 5 clear at the top, potentially 8 by Sunday. It's a tough loss, but this team has always bounced back from blips. This is very true, my friend. Arsenal can sign players despite the Champions League. Our team has many weaknesses, and Vieira was crap, is what Chris has said to us here today. Excuses are embarrassing. This is from a Spurs fan, Perchy. Jess says it real. Just admit you wasn't good enough. Arteta got it wrong. It was perfect. You are full of chest. Enjoy second. Arsenal will always be bottle jobs, is what Sean says here. Big Ash says, for our disappointed fans and those trying to banter us, see it this way. Do you think City would be happy about Arsenal dropping out of the Europa League?
I don't know. That's it.
I look at it 2 ways, though. So I heard last year Arsenal fans go from saying 1 game a week is better for you to 2 games a week is better for rhythm. So Gal said that when back end of last season, 2 games a week is better for rhythm. So I'm not going to challenge anyone on this stream because I've not heard you say it. But for Gal, it can't be good if 2 games a week is better for rhythm. If you think 1 game a week is better, then it's great. So it really depends on, I suppose, your outlook. Steve here says main objective is to get Champions League, to crash out of the round of 16. Is what Strasbourg says here. Thank you for the super chat. Vieira would have come off earlier if we didn't get 2 injuries early on. Odegaard coming on earlier would have changed the game. Yeah, I agree. When he came on, you guys looked really dangerous after that. This here says, Ollie, okay, if getting knocked out of the Champions League team in Sporting, imagine what's going to happen if you're in the Champions League, if you're going to go by that logic. Come on now, is what Nav says.
Probably be better next year, but...
Yeah. Chike here says, Jessica and Brandon, who are your dream Champions League knockout quarterfinal ties? Chike, you always ask long questions, bruv. Also, trivia, who was the first American to win the Nobel Peace Prize?
Cardi B.
Definitely not. Can't be any of the presidents in the last 20 years, amount of bombs they've dropped. Although Obama did win one after, was it like he dropped a bomb on an Islamic country? One every 6 minutes for 8 years, and he got a peace prize. That's a madness. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that's just anyway. Dream Champions League quarterfinal draws, Jess.
I don't know.
Got to get there first, and then you can.
So I think he means this season with the teams that are left.
Oh, I don't know. We can talk about that tomorrow, I guess, whenever the draw is.
We do it on the draw, yeah. Terry, KJ, Meeks, and Tom Arteta out coming soon.
Yes, Meeks.
Big Meeks.
Probably not.
Big Meeks. I don't think Arteta out is coming. Only sack him if we end up 6 or more points ahead.
6? Yo, that's harsh. That is 6 is very easily done. Like,
yeah. Has Troops and Frodo got t-shirts back? Who's Frodo?
He's talking about John. No, Chloe Jenkins. You should be banned for that.
I have no idea who that is. What happens if Arsenal go? Sorry, already done that one there. Thank you. Brandon speaking facts. Jess is delusional, according to Harry. Says that Jess is delusional. You agree, Zane? Why is that the case?
Do you know what? I feel sorry for Brandon because he's one of the Arsenal fans I truly rate because he called it from the start. You bottled it. You absolutely bottled it, bruv. You must have become milkman, bruv. Go 6 o'clock in the morning, start busting them bottles because you bottled it. You did this last season. You said last season, a lot of Arsenal fans, oh, we've only got one game a week now. We're gonna get top 4. What happened? What happened? You bottled it. And then today, right? I thought, let me see if they changed. No, you bottled it. This was, remember, let's get this right. The Emirates, this mighty stadium, you know, Anfield, whatever. The Emirates, at home, bro, at home. You can't beat Sporting Lisbon, bro. I'm sorry, no disrespect, bro, but we've been slapping up for years, bro.
Let him talk. Let him talk.
Let me talk. Thank you very much, right? And then the excuses you guys are making. Oh no, we just want top 4. Don't let rivals do not take your foot off their necks, bruv. This agenda's coming out now. No. We just top 4. Shut up, bruv. 5 points ahead. 11 games to go. Don't ever let your foot off their neck because that's what they're gonna do, bro. You know what these mans are like. These mans are flip-flops, man. Making up excuses year after year. 8th, 6th. Oh, we're just getting better. Get back. There's no excuses, right? There is no excuse for you not to win the league this season, right? And what makes me laugh, right? It's the way you lot are talking. Like you got the league. You got to play Liverpool, Man City, and you're making it like you're gonna walk through. Oh, please, that's not gonna happen, bro. What's happened lately against Liverpool? Arsenal fans. 5-0, 5-0.
No, we beat you earlier on in the season.
Yeah, but last season, Anfield.
One sec. Are you Liverpool? Are you a Liverpool fan?
He's
Are you a Liverpool fan?
No shit, Sherlock, bro.
We don't understand you with a Liverpool fan.
No shit. Right, but one thing I was gonna say, right? One thing I'm gonna say is, you Arsenal fans, you deserve this. You man in the chat, you Arsenal fans, because I see you lot coming to the Liverpool games and chat your nonsense. Now it's my time to chat my nonsense to you, man. Shut up, bro. What are you talking about? You bottled it. Bottle FC, bro. That's what your name's going to be next season. So come at me, you Arsenal fans in the chat, because I see you all in the Liverpool games, bro. Come at me now. What are you saying, bro? What are you saying?
I mean, you just admitted you're talking nonsense. What's there to come back to?
I'm going to say what I want to say, right? But again, Sulz, mate, you're going to be clipped up, brother. But Man City, come at me. I know from personal experience.
I don't give a shit.
I know from personal experience. When Man City are on you, breathing on your neck, bro. Mm-hmm. That's different. That's a different level, bro. You ain't experienced that, none of that, bro. Watch, after 6-7 games to go, you guys have been crying, oh, we got injuries. I don't want to hear no injury nonsense, bro. The whole season, you got a squad. Deal with it, bro, all right? Because we weren't allowed to talk about injuries. So when you get to the last 6 games, I'm going to enjoy you lot crying. Like,
we're just going to have a competition that you might going to play next season. We're just going to compete. We're going to play next season. You enjoy the Europa League next season, okay? We're going to be in the Champions League. We're going to go for the Premier League. I will enjoy it
because it's a trophy to win, bro. Because I want to win trophies, bro. Unlike you, man.
At least we tried to win the game today. At least we tried to win the game today, okay?
Fourth place is no trophy.
But you guys, you man had Real Madrid the other day. You didn't even try to win that game. It's like a 10 out of 10 girl giving her phone number to you. You don't even move to her after.
Hold on a minute,
you don't
man.
even
What
try
do you
to
know
win that
about
game,
Real
bro.
Madrid and proper European elite, bro?
You didn't even try to move. You didn't even try to win that game.
Bro.
Come up with this energy.
Can I tell you something to you? Can I remind you? You won a C-Tech European Cup, bro. A C-Tech one. With this cup, it was so bad they got rid of it, bro. That's how dead that cup was, bro. Right? That's the deadest cup you can get. I know from back in the day, bro. C-Tech level cup that was, bro. That don't exist no more, bro. They don't even bring it back. At least UEFA Cup. Do you know what I mean? You know about it from the UEFA League. But so you lot have the disrespect to cuss Chelsea, Man United, and Liverpool and give us shade. You can't sit at the top table. You got no pedigree in Europe.
We can't sit up. We're first right now.
You're a domestic club. Domestic club. FC. That's what you are. That's all you guys. I've been saying for years to you,
man. But it's not trophies, though. You do keep banging on about trophies. It is still trophies. So.
What is?
I see. 29
years ago, bro. 29 years.
Guys, we're going to slow it down now.
Sorry.
Says here, humans only use 10% of their brains. The clown at the bottom left is definitely capital.
Nah, you're catching so much heat today.
Why do you repeat that, man?
It's salty rival fans. Salty rival fans. I don't care.
I hear you there. Rise above it. Keep doing your thing, bro. Why is the Liverpool fan talking? Know your place.
What?
We are going to make 30 years look very sad. Know your place is what I said to you again, bro. This says North London is green. We beat Tottenham too. Is what Sporting fan says there. I like that. How Troll King Zane. We are not worthy of you. Terry, get rid of this clown. I'm convinced you deliberately bring these idiots on to make Arsenal fan base look terrible. Hang on, but that's not fair. Like, listen, I don't. You say I deliberately do it. I like a variety. If every Arsenal fan sounds the same, the channel would die. So Jess and Sulz and Brandon and Dord and Igal, to name 3, Lee Gunner that comes on. Just look at those 6 Arsenal fans plus more that come on the shows. The variety is amazing. And then you get a group of Arsenal fans that follow the terrace that agree with all of them, but there's groups of Arsenal fans that follow the terrace that disagree with all of them. We are no echo chamber, my friend. I know he annoys you, but then imagine if someone else said, "Oh, we don't like Jess." Who do you like? You might like Jess, but imagine I got loads of people say we don't like Jess's takes, and I got rid of her as well. Then you wouldn't enjoy it anymore, and that would be bad for business, my friend. But thank you for the super chat. Again, Chelsea United, Liverpool lost more finals than you've been to. Eagle!
I love it.
You have a nice game, Eagle? Nice trip to the Emirates. I'm local. You should have come in. I could have got you a hot cup of tea or something. Drown your sorrows.
You guys enjoy this. It's a disappointing night, honestly. Banter is going to be flowing. I get it. We deserve it. Honestly, we should have closed off the game. We had so many chances. Jesus had some good chances. We had a lot of good chances in the first half. I felt like we had an opportunity to close off the game. The goal that they scored, honestly, credit to them. That was a crazy goal. From that distance, Ramsdale getting caught off the line. You could blame so many different people, but the reality is we kind of let the foot off the gas. They came into it. They were brave, and honestly, you could see that we weren't going to. You could see that we weren't on the same level as we were in the first 20, 30 minutes as the game went on. After the 60th minute, it was pretty much like deflation from everyone. I don't know if the substitutions even helped. Taking off Jesus, bringing on Trossard. Trossard looks injured near the end. Saliba looked like his injury wasn't that good either. Tomiyasu getting out in the first 20 minutes. Honestly, it was just a combination of worst case scenario. We're out the cup. We picked up injuries. We had to play 120 minutes, and now we got to go Sunday versus Crystal Palace. We can't be sad forever. We have to get over it. But the reality is, it sucks because we honestly, a lot of us believe that we could do something special this season, potentially win the Europa League and win the Premier League. But hey, now we're just gonna have to focus on the Premier League.
Yeah, it's so beautiful to see. It's so beautiful to see a master and an apprentice side by side together.
I have my own thoughts. I don't get influenced by anyone else.
Listen, I just want to ask. For the people who were not at the beginning of the stream, Terry, did you mention the fact that I was at the game and I was busy? Because I'm here, people. I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't remember that.
I wouldn't hang you out to dry like that because I'm not. I wouldn't do that to you, mate. 100%. I did want to ask you a question though, because you said last season that 2 games a week is better for rhythm. Are you worried now that it's only going to be 1 game a week for the rest of the season? Is that detrimental, or do you think this is a positive towards the title charge? How do you see it, mate? Oh,
that's a tricky question. You go.
That was one. You didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah, I hear that there. This super chat says, if Chelsea win the Champions League and Arsenal don't win the league, would you say Chelsea had a better season?
Well, obviously.
Oh, yeah, they won the Champions League. Of course
yeah, 110%. Shane here says, Jess, your 5-star haircut never made #1.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Jess's
hair looks banging. I don't know.
You don't have any hair. If that's you, you don't have any hair. I
don't even know what that means.
Hey, Jess, I've not heard of real best.
I think there was a group called 5-Star back in the day in the 80s, and maybe that's why.
I think people have been trying to act like my hair looks a certain type of way. Looks good.
Nice.
Like that's one thing you can't deny. My hair looks good.
All right. It looks all right. It looks all right. Can you hear us, Igal?
Nah, your girl's done out here.
No,
man.
that's Igor was gone. I love saying calls him Igor. It makes me die. I want to be on a panel. We've obviously had enough people on tonight, but we'll get some more again another time. Thank you. Arsenal should lift J5 as Oh, that's funny. Dean here says that that's twice Arsenal have seen a Portuguese player score from 40 yards at the Emirates. Who's the other one? Oh, Naeem didn't do it. Naeem did it. That was at Highbury, I assume. And
I think, but at home, I think I get what he's trying to say.
None of you actually remember the. Well, you'll remember the Naeem goal, Zane. You were about 25.
Yeah, I was so happy, bro.
You were an old man when that happened. Yeah, the Naeem goal. And then I swear Naeem played for Tottenham as well. And then he scored a very similar goal from distance for Spurs as well in a game.
Oh, see, apparently Ronaldo has scored a goal like that at the Emirates.
Of course, the free kick.
Oh, the free kick.
Yeah.
Naeem is Portuguese. Naeem doesn't sound Portuguese. I was like, yeah. The goal was a mad one. The goal that semi. Do you know the only thing about that semi-final? Me and Phil Green, me and Phil and Tony and a few of the boys, we were living together, and we watched that game at home. And obviously, we all got drunk. I celebrated afterwards. Phil got proper smashed because he was gutted that they got knocked out. We all went to. I had to go work the next morning. I left first. Everyone left. Phil was the last one to leave. And the mug was so drunk still, he forgot to bolt the doors up. Got home, the house had been burgled, ransacked, everything gone. Wow. The whole house was empty. The only thing they didn't take was the TV because it was old TVs that were too heavy. But you know the maddest bit about that burglary, and I still remember this. They cleared everything. They took clothes. They took beds. They took the house. And my next door neighbor said, "Oh, we thought you moved house." I went, "Why?" They turned up with a removal van. And so they knew our names because what they do, they break in, they check letters, get names, and then when neighbors say, "Oh, what you doing?" "Oh, Terry and Phil." Wow. Our neighbors were making them cups of fucking tea.
And Terry, the most disappointing thing of the night was actually Darren Fletcher getting sent off.
Yeah.
More time than the burglary.
Do you know what's crazy? I got back, and my brother had an old Skybox. We linked the Skybox up because he had the connection. Chelsea played Barca, and this is the most annoying bit with hindsight. I celebrated Barcelona.
Oh, I celebrated.
And that went wrong because I really wish it was Chelsea who played in the game. But there we go. Listen, I want to thank everyone who's come on the show tonight. Absolute pleasure as always. My viewers, you're amazing. Biggest night ever in terms of super chat. So thank you so much for donations. It very, very much is humbling to me. It really, really is. And I don't want to tempt fate, but I've stopped hiccuping as well, which is very, very nice. But it's ripped my chest to pieces. I'm not going to lie to you. But listen, we're back tomorrow with more content. Live streaming the draws in the morning. So be with the Terrace. Top 6 show in the afternoon as well as we build up to the last football weekend before the international break. KJ, Neeks, Jess, Dodds, Zane, Sulz, Brandon, Egal, and anyone else that was on. Maybe somebody else was on. Tom Little as well. Thank you all very much for coming on. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. Love you all to bits.